Now, the grade 4 literacy and language arts exams are testing for particular skills, and there are a number of things that students should never do if they want to ace the grade 4 literacy and language arts exams. I have compiled a list of things, a checklist of things not to do. If you have been following this channel, I'm sure you're aware of all the things I've been telling you to make sure that you do. And also, we've been going through past papers, we've been going through examples and the actual lessons. So you're pretty sure what you should do. But equally important is what not to do. So here is a list of things that my grade 4 peppers should make sure never to do. And the top on the list is never ignore the instructions that you are given. So you make sure that you read carefully all the instructions. And this also will be crucial based on the type of text, particularly for the writing task that you are instructed to do. So if it says you're to write a letter, don't write a story. Okay? If it says give 2 reasons from the passage, don't give your opinion. There's a clear distinction between an opinion and a fact. Facts can be checked. You can go back to the source and check for the actual information, the data. Opinions are how you feel about the thing, and somebody else can feel another way about the thing. That's their opinion, right? So PEP will ask you, the tasks in PEP want you to be specific. They want you to use the sources. They're asking you to write particular formats, and if you write the wrong format, you will lose some major marks. So be careful of that and never ignore the instruction that is asking you for a particular text type. My second point, never write off topic. What do I mean by writing off topic? For example, for the performance task, stick to the prompt that is given. So if the topic is a day at the beach, don't suddenly write about your dog. That's off topic, right? And off topic responses score in the lowest band, even with your perfect spelling, perfect grammar, perfect expression. If you are going to go ahead and write about what you feel like writing about instead of what you are prompted to write about, you can't expect to get your marks, can you? The third tip, never forget to plan first. Always set aside a few minutes to jot down a plan. The plan is not going to be detailed. You don't have to do anything fancy. Just some little pointers that will guide you on what you're going to put in which paragraph, what you're going to develop, and the main points you're going to make. So, like a 3 to 5 minutes of planning, this will save you from having to be rambling here and there throughout your essay or your story. The story will have no focus. The plan allows you to gather your thoughts and to assign each paragraph for a particular topic of discussion within that general text that you're compiling. So the plan is very important. And just jot down, you can have a brainstorming session that can take 1 or 2 minutes to brainstorm. All the ideas that come to you about that thing, you brainstorm, you jot them down, and then you spend another 3 to 5 minutes organizing, right? Organizing in your web boxes or in your circles or however way you want to organize them. So you'll have your beginning, your problem, for example, the story, beginning, your problem, develop the story, and your solution or resolution at the end. If you don't have a plan, your story may be weak, disorganized, and more than likely you're going to be losing marks. The fourth tip, never leave the performance task blank. It is 40% of your total marks. Even 5 sentences with capital letters, and put your punctuation and so on, your grammatical rules. Those will get you the basic marks, but you must have the actual task that you're asked to do. Try something, write something, don't leave it blank. Tip number 5, never copy huge chunks from the sources, from the reading passage. For the comprehension questions, use your own words. You're going to be quoting from the sources, direct quotation marks, forwards lifted from the sources, but these should be limited. You should not be rewriting huge chunks from the passage. If you lift full sentences, you might get 0 marks for your understanding. You have to show that you have interpreted the information and rephrased it. So the PEP is testing for understanding, not for you to copy and lift everything, right? That doesn't show that you understand. You're just putting back what the passage said. It doesn't show any process of analysis, and that is important for you to show. Tip number 6, never forget your capital letters, your punctuation, your rules of grammar. The grade 4 markers, they are very keen on this, right? Start your sentences with capital letters. You know that you should capitalize names of people, names of places. When you're talking about yourself, using the word I, it should always be capitalized. Days of the week, months of the year. And remember to end your sentences with a full stop, a question mark, or an exclamation mark. These are easy marks for you to get, so don't lose them by missing these common punctuation and grammatical rules. Make sure you follow the rules, and missing them will make you lose some points. Tip number 7, never write in one huge giant paragraph. Remember, a paragraph is a group of sentences that are related in some way. So if you're going on to a new topic, a new idea within the story or essay, you're going to need a new paragraph. And when your paragraph begins, you should indent, move away from the margin to show that this is a new paragraph. Ideally, you want your paragraphs to have 4 or 5 relatively short sentences, maybe 6 sentences, and your stories should ideally have 4 or 5 paragraphs as well. Remember, you need your introduction to the story. You need to develop the story. You're going to need to conclude or resolve the story. Every new idea is a new paragraph, and you indent. If you're allowing your characters to have dialogue, if the characters are going to be speaking to each other, each time a new character is speaking, that's actually a new paragraph. Even if it's one word that the character is saying, that's a new paragraph. It should be in its own line. Somebody else is responding, go to the next line, indent, and continue like that, right? So huge chunks or walls of text, they are difficult to read, they are not easy on the eyes, and you're going to be losing marks for organization. Tip number 8, never skip that little step of rereading your work. Save 5 minutes at the end just for checking. Look if you missed out any words, if you confused any words like the homonyms, there, THER, THEIR, THEY Those are common words that are mistaken. Look for repeated words that you might need to cross out or erase. Look for incomplete sentences that you would need to complete. Most errors are from rushing. So when you're finished and you have a few minutes at the end, go back and look if you made any errors. Because it's not that you don't know the thing, you're not lacking the knowledge, but because you're rushing in the first phase to make sure you get everything down, you might accidentally skip over something. When you go back, you will pick up the error and be able to fix it before you submit your paper. Tip number 9, never answer multiple choice without going back to the passage. Remember, the answer must be based on the passage, not necessarily from the fact in real life, because the passage might be giving different information. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it has to be based on the passage. So in your head, you might have an answer based on your knowledge in life, but the passage may say something different, right? So the question usually says, according to the passage. They want you to go and find the line or lines that they're referring to, underline it, and then you choose from the options. Remember to eliminate the options that can't possibly be correct. There are always distractors there and things that you can eliminate to narrow down your options. And these distractors are actually built in to trick you. So don't fall for them. Tip number 10, never use text talk or slang in your writing. Children nowadays are very familiar with using the text, WhatsApp and whatever, and they use little slangs, or they just use the word, the letter U when they should write the word YOU. And just little slang words like B/C for because, or LOL, or emojis. Don't use any of those. Write in standard English, even in a friendly letter. Keep it formal. So, dear Miss Brown, not hey Miss B, that kind of thing. You don't use slang when you're writing for your exam. And never write below the minimum. If you're asked to write, let's say 100 words, never go below, right? Shorter work will get you missing some marks. And never forget the different parts of your letter. For example, you must have your date, your address, your greeting or salutation, your body, your closing, your signature, all of those. Just remember all the guidelines that you were taught, and don't neglect to put those in, because every mark counts, right? So remember, for your writing tasks, use caps, capital letters, answer the prompt, put in your punctuation, and your sentences must be in complete sentences, right? So remember these tips on what to never do. It's important to know what to do, but also what not to do when you're approaching your exams, because these will also help to get to your maximum marks.